So, can I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
That probably don't want to answer, but what's your degree? Your education. What are your degrees?
I did a science degree in chemistry and minor in mathematics at McGill University. And I worked for a while in air pollution in Canada. I did a Master of Divinity at Central Baptist Seminary in Toronto. And then I did a course or two out in Regent College while I was pastoring a church in Vancouver. And then I went to Cambridge and did a PhD there and did some study in Europe while I was there. That's it.
And you've written, published, edited more than 50 books.
Yeah.
How many countries have you preached in?
I don't know. I stopped counting them.
You travel more than anybody I know. How many times alone? I know we were together in Sydney, Australia. That was my first time. How many times have you been just to Sydney?
Well, to Australia, just above 60, somewhere between 65 and 70. I just don't know how many.
70 trips to Australia. Yeah. People are very familiar, I think, with what you believe. You've written a lot. You've taught a lot. Your credentials are obviously good. I read somewhere you're fluent in 6 languages.
Oh, no, the stories get,
well, this was in The Case for Faith or The Case for Christ.
Yeah, but these journalists, you don't want to trust Lee, do you?
I've never met him.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Now, there's fluent and there's fluent and there's fluent.
Well,
I mean, to say that I can read a bunch of languages, I can read at some level or another about a dozen.
About a dozen
to
languages.
read, slowly, with a dictionary.
None of them are Pig Latin?
No,
Legit languages.
Yeah, but on the other hand, that doesn't mean I could preach in them. The only languages where I could take an English manuscript and preach in either English or another language is French. Now, my pronunciation is good enough in German and Spanish, maybe one or two others, that if I had the whole thing written out, I could get away with it. I could pull it off. But that doesn't mean I really know the languages, you know?
Most people don't know English. I mean, you know, we text message, you know. Yeah. So within that, those are your credentials. And let me ask you one more. Somebody told me, there's sort of weird, you know, stuff gets said. Do you have the New Testament memorized in Greek?
No.
How much of it do you have
I don't know.
memorized in Greek?
A fair bit, but I've never done that sort of calculation. I don't have one of these remarkable photographic memories. I mean, I've known a few people who have. Mm-hmm. I knew a guy called Lachlan Shackleton Fergus. I mean, it's an unbelievable story.
Let's make him famous. Tell me the
story.
story.
Oh, yeah. He was a PhD in law at Cambridge when I was there. And he got to be a good friend. He had a tough background in many ways, lost his fiancée in a traffic accident and so on. And he had this remarkable, perfect pitch memory of everything.
But that's a bummer if his life is torrid.
Yeah, well, this was of text, and
yeah.
it only lasted.
Okay.
It only lasted for about 6 weeks, and then it got more feeble. And so what he would do when he had to do another section of his dissertation, another thesis, meanwhile he was running off to Geneva with a foreign office holding this job and speaking there. He was having a blast. And then he had to get another chapter done. What he would do is he'd borrow books from the library on his topic. And he'd read 20 hours a day because he wanted to get it all done within the 6 weeks. He'd just read and read and read and read. And he'd remember it all. Just read and read. He became irritable. We'd bring food to him. We helped him out. 20 hours a day. Read. And then he would type at this tells you how long ago it was, an electric typewriter, an IBM ball on it and so on.
Wow.
And then his
I've
mother
heard
would,
about those.
Yeah, and his mother came in from Gozo, where they had their summer estate in the Mediterranean, and would do the footnotes in the other one. And he would dictate to his mother the text over here, and he would be typing the footnotes over here without looking at anything. That would take 2 or 3 days to write up that chapter. Then he'd crash, go to sleep. His mother would fly back to Gozo. And then he would check out what he'd done. And he found on average 3 mistakes per 400 references. I saw, that's not hearsay. I saw that with my own eyes. It was unbelievable. I don't have any of those kinds of gifts. None.